Discrimination just doesn't feel good. I have not necessarily been singled out, but I belong to a group that has been singled out to be the object of just cruelty. Like, this is a cruel act designed to push people like me out of public spaces to essentially make living in society just that little bit harder.
On day one of his second term, President Trump signed an executive order declaring there are only two genders, male and female, referring to it as a binary assignment determined at conception. What that did was direct the State Department to require all government IDs, licenses and passports, those kind of things, to reflect a person's gender assigned at birth. It overturned a policy that had been in place since 1992 in America and was expanded in 2021 when the Biden administration gave people the option of X on their passports. The ACLU, well, they filed a lawsuit in April. A federal judge blocked the order from being enforced in May, and by June, that protection was expanded to all transgender and non-binary people, while the case worked its way all the way up to the Supreme Court. Well, today, in another shadow docket decision, the justices granted the Trump administration its emergency request to enforce the executive order. Now, back in June, when we had spoken to Cassidy, who you just heard from, a University of Idaho grad who lives in Austria and helps teach English, she'd been issued a passport with a male marker, despite her birth certificate and Idaho driver's license identifying her as female. And when we shared Cassidy's story back in June, because of that preliminary injunction, she did have a chance to reapply for a corrected passport. However, her father told us today, as of 2 weeks ago, she had not resubmitted her application, making the international travel for her more difficult. Today's ruling doesn't end the lawsuit, though. It just gives the State Department the ability to deny applicants choosing their own identity, their own gender marker, while the case continues in the lower courts. But it also gives us a major clue as to how the case will ultimately be decided should it make its way again back to the Supreme Court. Our full story on Cassidy and her passport can be seen at ktvb.com and our YouTube page.